Hey everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I did a formatting of an ebook cover. My last video was a tutorial on how to format an ebook cover. And along the line, I couldn't continue with that video because I had a sore throat, which is gradually clearing. So today's video, I'll be formatting the interior. Okay, so we'll get to learn how to format our first 5-6 pages of the interior of our paper, the bleed and no bleed, how to know when a book is bleeding and when a book is not bleeding, and how to set our margins. So follow me as we go on to this tutorial. Click on create new design and custom size. Remember our book is a 6 by 9, so this I'll change this to inches, and I'll click in a 6 by 9. If you remember our initial measurement, it was a 6 by 9, so here we are, 6 by 9. Okay, so now there are two distinctive features. If you look at my work, if you look at the Canva this thing now, my work page, you can see that it is having a margin. Now, in order to avoid your work from bleeding, it is very essential you put a margin. So let's go to setting. Let's assume this my work does not have a margin. Now to put this margin, I have to come to, you can see I've removed this margin here. So for me to apply this margin, which is very essential, I go to File, I go to Setting, and I'll click on what? Show Margins. So with this, my work will not bleed. But if there is no margin, okay, I will also click on Show Print Bleed. So with this is guiding my work, and it will not, no matter what I do, it will not bleed. Then Canva, sorry, KDP, Amazon KDP paper calculator. So for us to get it bleed or no bleed, now set trim size, bleed, margin, format. Okay, so let's click on this. To format the body, okay, before I go to format the body, let's just look at this bleed or no bleed. So if you can look at this to work. This side of the page, the left side, this is having no bleed. So if you look at it, it's having both. Let me go back to my lesson page now. So this is having this, the first line, no bleed, the first line, margin, the second line, margin. Okay, so this work at the left is having no bleed. Every work is within this access or within the margin. Whereas this on my right, okay, so this is the right one, this is having a bleed. This is a bleed work. A bleed in the sense that if you look at it, the work, the typed work is the picture in this is exceeding the margin. So the writing is within the margin, but the picture work is exceeding the margin. Now, when do you need a bleed work? Is when you're having a picture. When your work is having any picture, your work has to be in no bleed form. If you're writing now, if your book has a picture, it has an image, you have to go with no bleed. Sorry, you have to go with bleed. So this is bleeding, while this is not bleeding. So in my work, I don't think I will have any picture or any image, so I will go with no bleed. So you can see this first line here is my what? No bleed, and this second line here is my margin. That's the left side. Whereas if you come to this side, this work is bleeding. Now the writing, the text is within this margin, and the this thing now, the image you have here is exceeding the margin and is exceeding the bleed. So with this, if you're having a work, if your book is having an image inside, you have to go with bleed for it to occupy your picture or your image. But look at this. And for me, it's very essential you go with no bleed, apply your margin, you apply your no bleed for your work to be safe so that you won't be called back by Amazon KDP to correct your work. So we'll go back to our Canva page now. So you can see my no bleed. Like I said earlier, we go to File, we go to Setting. You can see my show margins, show print bleed. So with this print bleed and with this margin, my work will be within this space and I won't have any issues when uploading my work. So this is our first page now. Let's go back to Amazon KDP, not the calculator now. Let's come over here. Okay. So we'll go back to how to format our the interior now. So we've looked at the paper, the design, the paper, how our paper is going to be, the bleed and no bleed. So formatting your paper back, we've formatted our paper back. We've set trim size, bleed, and margins. So let's format our front matter, that's the front cover, your content, and the rest. So let's see what it entails. So the first page here will be your half title page. Second page will be your title page. Third page will be your copyright. Then fourth page dedication. So let's go back to our Canva. I will click on this. So we'll look at our test elements, sorry, test. So we'll click heading. The title of our book is parenting, intentional, intentional, do as I do as I do, not do as I. So I can now go down, take another distance, and write the name of the author and Taylor. Okay, so I bring this down. So that's our second page. We'll go to our third page now. This will be our copyright page. Let's go back to Amazon. So you can see have title page, copyright page. So let's prepare our copyright page. We'll go to copyright page now. Okay, so this is our copyright page now. We'll write Okay, so this is our copyright page. From a copyright page, we'll now go over to have our dedication page. Okay, dedication, which intentionally. So normally, you know that standard font size is 12. So leave it at 12. So we'll go over to the next page now. Our next page will be the table of contents. So our next page, table of contents, will come over here and we'll write our table of contents. Okay, so table of contents, table of contents, reduce the font size. Okay, leave this up. Subheading. So chapter 1, introduction. We'll just list it accordingly. So from the order we can see front matter, that is the front page, half table, half title page, copyright page, dedication page, table of contents. So let's go back to our Canva now. So we can see the first one now. That's a hive title page. Second one, the main title page, where you have your the title, the subtitle, and the name of the author. Then there's a copyright page, intentional parenting, the year of production, all right reserved. Then you have your dedication. After your dedication, then you go to your table of content. So after that now, we go to our work. So this is where we'll start our destiny now. The content. You might decide to leave a page here before you begin with your content. Okay, there's a page. Then you go over to the table of content. So the first chapter one, you type chapter one, and already I have my work, I have my manuscript, I have my work ready somewhere. So what I'll do is just to go copy the work and paste. Okay, so chapter one. So notwithstanding, I have my work already done. I have my manuscript already, but I want to show you a feature in Canva. I can decide to write just like as I can use ChatGPT to do your writing. I can as well decide to use Canva to do my entire book by using a Magic Write. But when you're using Magic Write, you give it an idea of what you want, just the same way you give a prompt to ChatGPT or Google Gemini. So I'll give it the prompt of what I want and it would write it for me. Okay, so you can decide to edit it in Canva or you go to maybe your Word, your Word document or your Microsoft Word to edit. So let's just give it a try. Let's take a sample. Okay, in my chapter one now. What is modeling? So I will just type in what is generate. Generate. So magic right. Generate a full page. So we can see page one, intentional parenting, page two, intentional parenting. There's a half page, full page, page three, copyright, four, dedication, five, table of contents, six, chapter one. Okay, so for the book, if you don't really have any maybe book, you don't have your manuscript, you can decide to write with ChatGPT. Okay, so I can decide to go with to ChatGPT now and I'll give it a prompt. Let me delete this. Okay, so I'll give it a prompt of whatever I want it to do for me. Now, okay, define modeling or give me a paragraph or in 10, okay, let's say in 10 lines, in 10, write 10 intentional ways of raising children. So you just type this. That's if you don't have your manuscript, you've not written your book. But I have my book down already. So you can see ChatGPT will generate this for you. Okay, modeling good behavior, create a safe environment. Let's go further. Okay, generate a full page of generate a full page. ChatGPT has generated this for us. Like I said earlier, that's if you don't have your your manuscript down. ChatGPT is still generating. So I can now copy this. Let's copy the first three paragraphs. I don't want all. Let me see. So you can see our work now. Page one, page two, page three. Copyright dedication, table of contents, chapter one. So you just keep copying from your manuscript or you keep going to ChatGPT, copying, pasting, but you just make sure that your work does not exceed any of this, the margin here. You have your print bleed, your work, make sure your work does not exceed this margin here. So whatever you're, whether you're typing directly on Canva, which is not advisable, you have to prepare your manuscript. So with this, we've finally come to the end of this tutorial. All you need to do is to replicate the same process
Okay, so just replicate the same process and you have your ebook ready for publication. You can sell in any of the marketplaces in Amazon, KDP, Google Playbook, Etsy, and any other marketplace you want to sell. Okay, so please, if this video has added any value to you, do well to like, share, subscribe, and follow me for more tips on how to write ebooks and any other way of making passive income. Oh, thank you.